Good morning, my brothers and sisters. Today is August the 11th, 2020, and it is the 151st day of the quarantine and the virus. And we are in John chapter 6 in a beautiful passage. And we are in the inquiry of some people who ask a great question: what must we do to be doing the works of God? So let's read that. This is from John chapter 6 and verse 28, and I'm going to read to 35. Then they said to him, "What must we do to be doing the works of God?" And Jesus answered them, "This is the work of God, that you believe in him whom he has sent." So they said to him, "Then what sign do you do that we may see and believe you? What work do you perform? Our fathers ate manna in the wilderness, as it is written, he gave them bread to eat from heaven to eat." Verse 32, Jesus then said to him, "Truly, truly, I say to you, it was not Moses who gave you the bread from heaven, but my Father who gives you true bread from heaven. For the bread of God is he who comes down from heaven and gives life to the world." They said to him, "Sir, give us this bread always." And then verse 35, our last verse for today. Jesus said to them, "I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger, and whoever believes in me shall never thirst." So my first thought for today is the context of this passage is work and labor and effort. And my first thought was of Mike Rowe, I think that's how you say it, who did a show on PBS, I think, Discovery Channel, called Dirty Jobs. And in that, he would do what we would call a dirty job for the day, someone that cleaned a sewer or somebody that, did construction or some hard job, and he would do their job for a day. And one of the things I liked about the show, and everybody liked about the show, was just the respect and the value and the honor that he gave to these people that were, sort of the unsung heroes of our workforce. That most of the world's work is done by people who have to work hard. And I think this passage emphasizes that. Don't underestimate the labor of belief. Now, for some, believing is easy and it's done in a childlike way. But I think for a great percentage of people, belief is difficult, and the things that the Lord asks are difficult. So that's the first thing. The second thing is that there is a work of God, and we talked about that yesterday. But there is also a work of man. He leaves something for us here, and maybe you have some hard work to do in this area. And my thought is that doesn't everybody have some hard work to do? Even if you're a believer, quote unquote, already a believer or a pre-believer, probably you're still pushing the envelope, and there'll be difficulties in your belief. So I think that there is for some of us, maybe some past tense belief, but the tricky part, the challenging part, is there's probably some present tense belief that we're going to need to apply our faith, apply our belief to difficult circumstances. The third thing is that I think we should frame our belief biblically. John Bunyan said, "If you cut me, I bleed the Bible." And I think we need to center our belief to the right God as he's described himself both in history and in writing and in his book. I think we need to expose ourselves to the right people. And so the call is to believe accurately, but also to believe more and to believe better, believe longer, believe stronger. My fourth point is be careful. It seems that they said, hey, show us a sign, give us a fresh sign, like all the ones you've done before. I'm not counting those. I need one today. So there is a caution here as it appears that they may say, hey, I'm going to withhold belief if you don't dot dot dot, if you don't give me one more dollar, if you don't give me one more unit of health. So it seems that they may be saying, give me a fresh work. And I think it's possible for us to believe worse. So the point I just made is to let's believe better when in circumstances, but let's also be careful not to believe worse and make our belief conditional on circumstances or provision as we see it. So the believe better part is believe despite our circumstances, because I imagine some of this is going to be difficult. And then finally, I am the bread of life. This is the huge passage where Jesus basically says, I am God. I provided then and I provide now. There are 7 I am metaphorical statements in the Gospel of John. This is the first of them. I am the bread of life. I am the door. I'm the resurrection and the life. I am the way, the truth, and the life. And a couple more I can't think of off the top of my head. So that refers back to Exodus chapter 3, verse 14, when Moses is just meeting God at the burning bush, and God says, I'm going to send you to Pharaoh, and Moses says, what is his name? What should I tell people your name is? And God said to Moses, I am who I am. Say this to the people, I am has sent me to you. And here Jesus refers to that, and he is claiming himself to be God by saying, I am the bread of life. So, in conclusion, a couple things. Number one, don't underestimate the labor and the difficulty and the value of belief. And because it's difficult, I don't think we should be whining. I think we should remember that it's that God disciplines those he loves. Of course it's difficult. If it was easy, God would have his hand off of you. That's no fun. Secondly, that I think maybe we all have some hard work of labor, and let's assume, yes, we have a work to do today. So don't believe worse, and let's believe better in the bad circumstances or the difficult circumstances that the Lord would have for us. And then finally, let's be ready to rock, to be rocked. The final call that Jesus says, I am the bread of life. Whoever comes to me shall not hunger. So come. If you're a believer, come and believe better. And if you're a pre-believer, come and believe for the first time. Amen.